Today, we expose a truth about Britain that the headline population figures are deliberately hiding. You've been told the UK is growing, that we're heading towards 70 million people, that the country is more crowded than ever. And on paper, that's true. But beneath that headline lies a story the government doesn't want you to see clearly. Across the United Kingdom right now, entire towns, cities, and regions are quietly emptying out. Young people are fleeing. Working-age families are leaving. And in their place, in too many cases, comes decline, deprivation, and that unmistakable feeling of a place that has been abandoned and left behind. Here's the data that proves it. The Office for National Statistics has now confirmed that the UK's natural population change, births minus deaths, is projected to be negative from mid-2026 onwards. In plain English, from this year, more British people are dying than being born. The only reason the total population keeps rising is net migration, which the ONS says accounts for 144% of all projected UK population growth between 2025 and 2039. Without migration, the country would already be shrinking. And in some nations of the UK, it already is. The ONS projects Scotland's population to decrease in the year to mid-2026, with Scotland's population set to fall 1.3% and Northern Ireland's by 1.0% over the next 25 years. But the national figures hide the real story, because population decline in Britain isn't evenly spread. It's concentrated. Specific towns and regions are hemorrhaging people, while London and the South East absorb the migration that masks the national picture. And the places losing people are, overwhelmingly, the coastal towns, the post-industrial heartlands, and the rural communities that built this country, and have now been hollowed out. We've spent days digging through ONS census data, National Records of Scotland projections, Centre for Cities analysis, and UK moving trend reports to identify the 10 areas of Britain that feel most abandoned in 2026. The pattern is brutal, it's revealing, and it tells you everything about where this country is really heading. But before we get into it, if you live in one of these areas, if you've watched your hometown empty out, or if you've had to leave the place you grew up just to find work, hit that subscribe button right now. We're British Front Media, and the establishment would much rather talk about national growth than admit that whole swathes of Britain are being abandoned. We have you. Every subscriber, every share, every comment forces the truth higher up the algorithm, so subscribe. Drop a comment with your town. Let's expose what's really happening. Number 10. Ipswich, Suffolk. We start in the east of England. Centre for Cities analysis identified Ipswich as one of a cluster of British cities that have actually seen their populations fall. A marginal decline of around 40 people. Small in number, but symbolically huge for a town that had grown for years. The slow drain of working-age residents seeking opportunity elsewhere has left Ipswich with the stagnant, treading water feel of a place that the modern economy has quietly passed by. Number 9. Aldershot, Hampshire. Aldershot has long been a garrison town, but the same Centre for Cities research flagged it among the cities recording a population fall of around 0.1%. For a town in the supposedly booming Greater South East, a population decline is genuinely surprising, and a warning sign that even southern England isn't immune to the hollowing out that the north and the coast know all too well. Number 8. Luton, Bedfordshire. Luton recorded a population fall of around 0.6% in the Centre for Cities analysis, one of the steeper declines among the shrinking cities. Squeezed between high living costs and limited high-quality employment, Luton has seen exactly the dynamic that defines British depopulation. The people with options leave, and the town struggles to replace the skills, the spending, and the energy that walk out the door with them. Number 7. Oxford. Yes, even Oxford. One of the wealthiest, most prestigious cities on Earth recorded a population fall of around 0.5%. The cause is brutally simple. Oxford has become so unaffordable that ordinary working people can no longer live there. 3 of the 4 shrinking cities in the analysis, Oxford among them, saw a decline in their population aged 25 to 49, the prime working age, family-forming demographic. When a city prices out its own workers, it doesn't feel vibrant. It feels like a museum that people commute into and flee from. Number 6. Leicester. Leicester is one of the great net outflow stories of modern Britain. UK moving trend data for 2026 shows Leicester with net migration of -9,305, with over 31,500 residents moving away while just 22,000 moved in. Despite being the largest city in the East Midlands, with house prices well below the national average, it's simply not holding on to its people. When more than 9,000 more people leave than arrive, the effect on a city's high streets, its schools, and its sense of momentum is profound. Number 5. Portsmouth. Portsmouth ranks as one of the least desirable cities for movers in Britain right now. The data shows over 18,000 people left, with net migration of -5,500. It fits the broader trend of people abandoning coastal areas, and Portsmouth's high average mortgage payments of around £1,125 a month on an island city with limited room to grow have made it a place people increasingly leave rather than settle. The post-pandemic dream of coastal living has gone into sharp reverse. Number 4. Kensington and Chelsea, London. Here's one that will surprise you. The single greatest population decrease of any local authority in a major ONS analysis was Kensington and Chelsea, which lost 5.8% of its population over a decade. The driver was net internal migration, a high number of people moving away. And uniquely for London, this wasn't offset by international arrivals, because more people moved from K&C to live outside the UK than moved in. This is the depopulation of the super-rich enclave, mansion blocks bought as investments and left empty. A wealth exodus accelerated in 2026 by non-dom tax changes. A different kind of abandoned, not poverty, but dark windows and absent owners. Number 3. The Scottish Islands and West Coast. Island and Sear, Inverclyde, Argyll and Bute. Scotland's west is the front line of genuine rural depopulation. National Records of Scotland projections identified Island Sear, the Western Isles, facing a 5% decline, Inverclyde a 4% fall, and Argyll and Bute a 3% drop, with the depopulating areas heavily concentrated in the west of Scotland. These are communities where young people leave for Glasgow, Edinburgh, or further afield and simply never come back. Where schools close, ferry services dwindle, and the median age climbs year after year. With Scotland's national population now projected to fall in the year to mid-2026, the islands are the canary in the coal mine. Number 2, Sunderland. A proud city, a symbol of British industry, and one of only 3 local authorities in the entire northeast to see its population actually fall between the last 2 censuses. ONS data confirms Sunderland's population dropped 0.5% from around 275,500 to 274,200, while the wider region grew by 1.9% and England grew by 6.6%. Sunderland is the archetype of post-industrial decline. The shipyard's gone, the coal gone, and now, slowly, the people too. Centre for Cities noted Sunderland's population growth had been sluggish for some time before tipping into outright decline. For a city of its history, that's a quiet tragedy. Number 1. Blackpool. And the most abandoned-feeling place in Britain is the one that was once called one of the wonders of the world. Blackpool's population fell 0.7% between the last 2 censuses, from 142,100 to 141,000. But the raw number disguises something far darker than simple decline. Blackpool is trapped in what researchers call a perverse spiral. As the Financial Times documented, the healthy and skilled young people leave, while the long-term unemployed and people with chronic health problems actually move in, drawn by some of the cheapest housing in the country, with the lowest average mortgage of any major location at just £586 a month. The Centre for Social Justice warned years ago that coastal towns like Blackpool were becoming dumping grounds for vulnerable people, care leavers, ex-offenders, people with substance and mental health problems, as cheap converted housing and out-of-area placements concentrated deprivation in one place. Blackpool now has soaring antidepressant use, falling life expectancy, and the highest rate of children in care in all of England. It hasn't just lost population, it has lost its future and been left to manage the nation's most vulnerable on the cheap. Why this is happening? The forces hollowing out these places are structural and reinforcing. First, the death of British industry. The coal, the shipbuilding, the steel, the manufacturing that built towns like Sunderland and the Welsh valleys was never replaced with anything of equivalent scale. Second, the collapse of the British seaside holiday, killed by cheap Mediterranean package tours, gutted the economies of Blackpool, Clacton, Rhyl, Margate, and Great Yarmouth. Third, the centralisation of opportunity into London and a handful of southern cities means the skilled and the young have no choice but to leave the places they grew up. Fourth, falling fertility, with Welsh fertility now at just 1.40 children per woman, far below replacement, means natural decline is baked in. And fifth, the ONS confirms that from mid-2026, the entire UK's natural change goes negative, masked nationally only by migration that flows overwhelmingly to a handful of growth hotspots, not to the abandoned towns. What this means for you. 3 things to take away. First, understand the divide. Britain isn't simply growing or shrinking, it's splitting. London and the prosperous southeast absorb the migration and the talent. The coastal towns, the post-industrial north, the rural west, and the Celtic nations bleed people. If you live in a growth area, you're insulated. If you live in a declining one, the trend is working against your property values, your local services, and your job market. Second, if you own property in a depopulating area, watch the fundamentals carefully. Population decline is the single most powerful long-term suppressor of house prices and rents. The cheap Blackpool mortgage of £586 a month isn't a bargain. It's a signal of a market with no demand pressure behind it. Third, if you're young and stuck in a declining town, the brutal honest truth is that mobility is opportunity. The data is unambiguous that the people who leave these towns for the growth cities improve their prospects. That's a personal tragedy for the towns being drained, but it's the rational individual response to a country that has concentrated its opportunity in so few places. The truth nobody in government will say out loud is this: the UK is not really growing. It is being kept afloat by migration into a handful of prosperous areas, while the natural population goes into decline and entire regions empty out beneath the headline number. The growing Britain story is a national average hiding 100 local collapses. And until opportunity is genuinely spread beyond London and the southeast, the Blackpools, the Sunderlands, and the Western Isles of this country will keep emptying, quietly, steadily, and largely ignored. If this video opened your eyes to what's really happening to Britain's population, hit that subscribe button one more time. Drop a comment telling us your town and whether it feels like it's growing or emptying out. And subscribe to British Front Media because we're doing this every single week. New investigation, new exposé, new truth. The establishment doesn't want you to hear. Until next time, read the data, question the headlines, and protect your home.